Hello, and welcome to The Valley. Today, I am your host, Janet Michael. Today's show is a personal milestone for me. It is my 2,633rd consecutive episode. Now, you may be wondering, why do I consider that to be a big deal? Well, after I hit my 1,000th consecutive episode back in April of 2020, I joked with everyone that I had set a goal to break Cal Ripken Jr.'s record of most consecutive games played, all for the Baltimore Orioles, by the way, which was 2,632. And this is that show. I can also tell you with a high degree of confidence that I doubt I will host more consecutive shows than Cal played consecutive innings. That number is just crazy at 8,264. So now I can either set a new goal, again, not that one, or I don't know, maybe take a day off. That's unlikely to happen, though, because on May 16th, I will begin season 10 of hosting this show and have a few new things to add to the mix, like, I don't know, maybe a weekend edition. So stay tuned. Follow The Valley today on Facebook for updates so that you don't miss out when something changes. But back to today's conversation. That is why we're all here, right? And had I been a little better in projecting this date, I would have been able to let Justin and Sean know before we recorded this record-breaking show back in mid-April. It is, of course, Tourism Tuesday, and so I am joined today by my co-host, Justin Kearns from the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau. His guest, Sean Steffi, is the owner of the wine room at the Taylor Pavilion and TT Wall's Kitchen and Bar, and now Miso Tori Ramen Company, a new ramen restaurant opening on Boscawen Street in just a couple of weeks. He gives Justin and I all the details on the show today. Have a listen.
Everybody is super excited about this. I'm very excited about it. People are in Winchester just dying for ramen.
You all know this is not our first rodeo with a restaurant downtown, but so far the hype over this is outshadowing the hype of the other two locations. It's definitely catching people's attention. We get messages daily when we're opening, so it's exciting.
I love ramen. My son is like a ramen freak. He loves ramen. I don't know why. It's just a thing. It's a thing right now.
It's extremely popular nationwide. The popularity of ramen is growing. There doesn't seem to be any chance of it losing popularity anytime soon.
No ceiling on it right now, yeah.
There's not a ramen location in Winchester City proper.
Is that what prompted you to think, hey, my third thing is going to be this?
There's a couple reasons. Obviously, we do our research before we decide on pulling the plug on any type of concept, but it just so happens that our executive chef at TT Walls, he will also be overseeing the ramen kitchen, is a self-taught ramen expert. So the skill set is already there. So we knew that, and when we started researching for a concept for a third location, we just kept circling back around to ramen. And yes, we've got Asian restaurants in town that happen to serve ramen, but this is a true back alley Tokyo style ramen bar. So you're not going to walk in and get sushi. You're not going to walk in and get chicken nuggets and French fries. It's ramen. And again, because of our commitment like at TT Walls, with everything being made in-house, the same thing here. Everything's being made from scratch. And the concept is, again, a little different from a lot of the current ramen spots that we have in the area. The menu is 99% ramen, but we're also doing a fusion component. So while we'll have our traditional Japanese ramens that you're accustomed to seeing, your spicy tonkatsu, your miso ramen, we're also doing fusion ramens, bringing in other cultures from the West to blend into the old traditional ramen of the East. So you can get Nashville hot chicken ramen. We're going to have a Texas smoked barbecue ramen. There will also be a Thai coconut curry and lobster tempura ramen. There will be some very traditional things, but also some outside the box fusion things, which we think is going to be a lot of fun.
I love the fact that you've got this. So ramen is hot, right? And so that's a great thing with the locals. The locals are like, hey, there's this cool thing, it's ramen. We want a ramen restaurant. But then you've got your own touch and unique flavor to it where you're adding this fusion where you can't get this. You'll have dishes, I'm sure, that you can't get anywhere else. They are unique to this place where you go in there. And that is tourism right there. That's where you...
Absolutely. We did a lot of research before we pulled the trigger on this. And the ramen fusion is a growing subsection of the whole ramen culture. but you're only seeing it in big cities like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Miami, places where the food scene is bigger than what we have in Winchester. But I'm like, you know what? Let's bring it. We've got the people, we've got the drive. It's on point, it's a trend. So let's just jump on it.
John, you're
That's
no real stranger to fusion either, because the menu at TT Walls, when we did the show with you back in October 2024 before you opened, a lot of what you have on that menu is some fusion. People really like bringing some old with some new, or putting together things that they wouldn't necessarily have done on their own. So this is kind of your thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Funny you said that, old with the new. The name of the restaurant is Miso Tori Ramen Company. And depending on the usage of the Japanese word miso and the Japanese word tori, it literally does mean old and new. So that's where the name came from, is we're taking old traditional Japanese techniques and ingredients and combining them with new things that are fresh, different, and creating that fusion.
served that up on a platter, didn't you? There you go.
Exactly.
So you're going in the spot there where Sexy Mexi used to be. So you're still going to be downtown on the Old Town Walking Mall of sorts. Was that part of the draw, as being within walking distance to your other two places?
It was. This location actually came to us quite by surprise. A realtor friend of ours knew that the location was going to become available when Sexy Mexi moved to their commissary kitchen, and we were pretty much first in line to look at the space. We also realized that with the closure of Boscawen Street, that location is literally going to be the first restaurant on the pedestrian mall from that side of the walking mall. So the new entrance to the downtown will be right there at our restaurant. We've already confirmed with the city that we will have outdoor patio seating when that construction project is done. So that made it even a better option for us, because outdoor dining is so popular, especially downtown. That was a big factor in us taking that particular space.
I saw on one of your Facebook posts that you've got Kyle Hopkins from Foursquare Architects is working on the interior for you. And he does such a phenomenal job. He did Bistro Sojo. Justin and I were there a couple of months ago. How is it coming together? What kind of timeline are you looking at?
Coming together really well. Construction should be completed by May. We're looking at a mid to late May opening, but Kyle's design is spot on. We basically are going for the vibe of a true Tokyo ramen bar, like a little spot in a back alley that's lit with neon lights and Japanese lanterns. It's going to be a really, really cool spot.
I'm so excited. You look at a diversity of offerings, and we talk about this. We talked about this with Bistro Sojo. There's nothing else like that anywhere within our nearby footprint. You expect that sort of a thing in a large city. You're not expecting that in Old Town Winchester, right? So this is such a cool thing, and it's such a totally unique thing for the whole area. We love it, love it, love it.
For someone who may be listening and they're thinking to themselves, wait, are they talking about ramen that comes in the little packets that I lived off of in college? Can you
Yep.
explain how this is not that?
It is not that. Ramen actually originated in China around the year 1800 and then slowly found its way to Japan, which is what most people actually associate ramen with, the Japanese food culture, and gained a lot of popularity in the latter 1800s and early 1900s in Japan. Now, of course, it's grown since then to your modern Japanese version of ramen with handmade noodles, all the different broths, all the toppings. We're embracing the modern Japanese culture with this concept. And the fact that it is a noodle soup, yes, but it's not microwaved in a styrofoam bowl. I did grow up on those in college, though, so
Right?
I
Everybody.
have to give credit there.
So if people are listening, they haven't been to a dedicated ramen shop, what are they going to get when they order? What does that look like? Because it was not what I was expecting the first time I ever went into a ramen restaurant and got a ramen bowl. It wasn't like that little bowl of the just noodles and broth.
It's a very generous meal. The bowls that we'll serve our ramen in are about 40 ounces. So you'll have, depending on what you order, a certain style of broth, and we will actually have vegetarian and even vegan options available. A lot of gluten-free options, rice noodles. You don't have to have wheat noodles. Rice noodles are a big factor, and there's different styles of that. Thick noodles, thin noodles. Those are all the things that the chef has his expertise on. And then toppings from nori and bean sprouts. Soft-boiled eggs are extremely popular. Pork chassu. Of course, like I said, we're going to be doing some fusion, so there'll be some tempura lobster and tempura shrimp available. It's a hearty, savory noodle soup, and I really can't say I've met anybody that doesn't love real ramen once they try it.
I am all in for any kind of noodle soup. So Justin has given me grief over the years for how, and I use air quotes, picky I am about what I will and will not eat. Brady gives me a fair amount of grief for that downtown as well. But hey, you open up a noodle shop, I am there all day, every day.
People love noodles. There'll be spicy options, not spicy options. It's a lot of diversity for a restaurant that serves basically one thing, which is ramen.
Have you thought through far enough ahead yet that you know what your hours are going to be? Any of that sort of stuff? Or are you waiting to see when construction is finished?
Our plan, and of course, this is pending a lot of factors. Hiring staff is a big factor initially, but our ultimate goal is to be open 7 days a week, beginning around 11:30 a.m. But we will go till later in the evening, at least 10 and possibly 11. Again, not totally sure, but there's a huge culture of late night ramen diners.
Yes.
The late night dining hours in ramen bars are almost as popular as lunch dining hours. So we want to capitalize on that. It's one thing that we see downtown now is that some restaurants do their last call at 8 o'clock, and there are people that want to dine later. And I want to get Old Town back to how it used to be pre-COVID, where people were out late enjoying the evening, especially on Friday and Saturday. But to do that, we've got to have businesses open to serve people and have an offering for them to want to stay downtown at night.
And a variety.
So where can people go to follow your journey?
Right now, Facebook is the best spot. The website is not fully constructed yet because we're waiting to be able to take actual interior photos and food photos, real items, and not use stock photos because that's just, I'm not a big stock photo kind of person because I'm not going to recreate that stock photo in your real life experience. So the website will be coming soon, but you find us on Facebook, Miso Tori Ramen Company, and you can follow along. We're posting updates regularly.
I'm sure you've done the research. Who are you expecting to come in here?
Ramen is extremely popular with the college crowd, people in their 20s and 30s, but it's gaining popularity with people of our generation and even older because word's spreading about what it is. And again, people are finding out that it's not a microwave product in a styrofoam bowl. It's a lot more than that. So I really think that we will have a pretty diverse group of people enjoying the restaurant. But again, I think it's going to be really popular with a slightly younger crowd.
It's a really great social kind of restaurant, more so than some other ones because there's a lot of sharing that goes on. Because 40 ounces I can't do.
Yeah,
I gotta share that with somebody.
Yep, a lot of sharing, but you can always take the rest to go. It's always good the next
That is
day.
true.
It's an easy to go option. Speaking of to go, we will be offering carry out that'll be quick and simple and online ordering
Really?
as well. That'll be fun. We are not planning on doing delivery at this point. I'm not a big fan of delivery services because I can't vet the people that are delivering my product to my customer. So initially, to go will be available by pickup. And then if we see a demand for delivery in the future, that might be something that we'll consider, but it's not on our radar at this point.
Is it easily caterable? I'm thinking of large meetings, or in particular, I'm thinking of my United Way board meetings, where every month when we have our meeting, a board member rotates buying lunch for the group. Would this be something that you could do that way?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm thinking of catering now too, but I don't know how you cater ramen because it's kind of an individual.
We would need individual orders in
Okay.
advance because again, there's so many options. Do you want spicy? Do you not want spicy? Do you need gluten-free? Do you want vegetarian or vegan? But yeah, I mean, group to go orders, absolutely.
And that's one thing that both of your restaurants right now have a really good reputation of being very knowledgeable of and very flexible with people's allergies.
Absolutely. We will be very easily able to accommodate most allergies. Gluten sensitivity, super easy because every single broth is already gluten-free. Rice noodles, gluten-free. Vegetables, gluten-free. So that's very, very easy. Our vegetarian broth will be vegan as well. We can accommodate vegan. Nut allergies, easy to accommodate. Again, because everything is literally made from scratch and made to order. So when you place your order for your bowl, nothing's sitting back there already pre-batched up. It's dished up when you order it. So if you need a particular item eliminated from a dish, it's super simple.
It's
Had great
important when you're talking
experiences.
about noodles too, because you don't want them to be sitting back there for who knows how long. So the fact that you're making it when I order it is very good.
Yep, the noodles are cooked when the order goes to the kitchen and not before.
Wow. Okay, now I want to go there for lunch right now, and you're not open.
Yeah.
I have a friend whose husband recently retired, and years ago there was a fundraiser of some sort that I think the Rotary Club was doing downtown on the Walking Mall, and he drove one of those bikes that allows the passenger to sit. It just popped up in my Facebook memories a couple of days ago, and so he was giving people tours up and down the mall. I think you should offer delivery on the mall that way to the breweries.
Yeah, we need to find one of those bikes. What are they called?
Rickshaws or something? No.
Rickshaws.
You can go around to the hotel, or at least the GW.
I think it'll be great if I'm sitting at Winchester Brew Works and want some food delivered. It's not that far. It's a what, block and a half, just the other half of the
Exactly,
mall.
And that's
exactly.
mobile marketing right there. You just you got your little mobile billboard driving around town. What
I'll
is
have to
that?
ask
Oh.
Bill if in his retirement is he interested in being a part-time bike courier person.
So when I saw an interview with one of the Pixar guys a few years ago, they were like, oh yeah, when we did Monsters Inc. and Toy Story, and when we were doing those, we had 37 ideas for other movies, and we're just working down that pipeline. We're 3 movies into 37 ideas. Are you 3 restaurants into 37 ideas, or is this going to max you out right now?
Right now, all of our creative energy is focused on the new location, while of course still keeping the wine room and TT Walls functioning at their highest level. I can't say that nothing else will ever happen. Time will tell.
That means you've got some
Well,
ideas in there, but you don't want to tell us what they are. Okay. That was very, very, very well politically framed.
well, and as we learned with this location and even with TT Walls, it kind of depends on what real estate opens. It's like the building becomes available, and then he's like, you know what we could do? And the next thing you know, there it is.
And really, that's kind of how this happened. We weren't out searching for a location at that moment. Someone came to us and they were like, hey, we've talked about this. Let's look at the space. And then once we walked in and realized, okay, the kitchen is perfect for what we would want to do. Then we looked at the inside and said, okay, the inside, the shell is great, but this does not look like a ramen bar. It's going to take some TLC and a whole lot of paint. But yeah, we're happy with what's happening right now.
And that's a
Yeah,
small space.
it's
You don't have a lot of tables in there.
we will be able to seat about 35 people, but ramen is historically, typically, a pretty quick meal. A lot of people come in for a quick lunch, a quick dinner. Late night, they might linger a little bit longer, but also we expect there to be a pretty significant carry-out business.
Speaking of the
Because it's
late
so
night,
portable. You can come in and get it and walk them all and finish shopping and do whatever while you're eating.
Exactly.
speaking of late night, are you going to keep the bar in there and have the alcohol and the bar component of it?
There is a bar. The bar's been redesigned. So it's going to resemble something much more like you would see in a back alley ramen shop in Tokyo. We will have a cocktail program based around Japanese whiskeys and liqueurs, sake. It's not a huge bar program, but there'll be something for everyone's taste. Japanese beers, Japanese sodas. I happen to love those myself.
My kids love those. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be a very fun bar program. You can't walk in and order margaritas. That's not very Japanese. But all the cocktails will have a Japanese flair.
Well, brace yourself because people will.
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
somebody is going to walk in and ask for a margarita. So brace
They're
yourself.
going to ask for
It will
chicken wings and a
happen.
margarita. Yeah.
It will happen. We haven't found any good Japanese tequila yet, so I'm not sure that's even on the market.
So, Justin, before we wrap up, anything you got going on coming into May that people should know about, or should they just go to your website and
No,
see
not
all
much.
the things?
So much. Oh my gosh. There's so much. Same thing as before. All the VA 250 stuff is really ramping up. I'm just doing a report right now as we're speaking in the background with all of the stuff in April and May, and then it just doubles as we get to June and then doubles again as we get to July. There is so much VA 250 stuff. It is really driving a lot of travel and tourism this year. All the statistics, all the research show that is just a huge driver of travel this year. We're very fortunate we have a fantastic committee, a local committee, a Winchester Frederick County committee. It is very well chaired and very well attended. The one and only Becky Ebert, you know Becky from the archives at Hanley, she is our fearless leader in that group, and she has obviously taken it and just done amazing things with that group and really done a lot of wonderful things. And we've gotten great support from the city and the county government offices. So yeah, all of that, if you go straight on our website, visit winchesterva.com, it is one of the first tabs that you hit right there. Obviously, all the farm markets are coming up. One thing I definitely want to mention, and this is very important, is very near and dear to us. Obviously, our farm markets, all of our agritourism is very important to the culture and the history of our area. If you hadn't heard or seen in the newspapers or online, they got hit really hard with the freeze about a week ago, but it was, as you're hearing this, it was about a month ago. It was in early April, and it wiped out, I think, 100% of the peach crop. And I think 80 to 100% of the first 2 varietals of apples that we're already starting to bud. That doesn't mean there's not going to be apples. There's still 15 other variety or 20 other varieties of apples that'll be off down the line. And I think all the pick your own stuff is going to be fine as well. I think that's going to be okay. But
Yeah, because it comes in later in the year.
Definitely they will be hit from their profit. That's peaches and apples. Most of them still sell these things in bulk, and they're going to take a big hit from that. So if you're thinking about, oh, hey, I need to get some eggs or I need to get this or that, obviously we're still going to go to the supermarket, but once a week or once every other week, make a trip out, meet the people who make our food and buy something from them. That one little bit will make a huge difference to these folks in the long run. But yeah, definitely asking for the community to show a little bit extra love to our farm markets and all of our farmers this year, because they got a bit of a hit. Our wineries too. A lot of their early grapes were hit by this freeze as well. Sean, you lived that for a while.
Yep, I'm very happy to dodge that bullet nowadays.
Yeah, the wineries too will, and they obviously they don't see the immediate return. That's going to hit them in a year or two. But definitely make sure you're giving everybody a little bit extra love. That's what kind of asking of the community if they can show a little bit extra love to our farmers.
And Sean, tell me one more time before we go, where can they find the new ramen restaurant on Facebook?
Just search for the name Miso Tori Ramen Company. MISOTORI Ramen Company.
Thank you so much for letting Justin Hornswoggle you into talking with us today. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
When I texted him, oh yeah, I'm doing yard work. And I'm thinking, the first thing I thought was, he's got 3 restaurants. How's he have time to do, what universe does he live in that he's got time to do yard work? I got one job and I technically don't.
I technically don't have time, but
it doesn't mean it doesn't have to be done, right?
Exactly. Today was my one day. I'm taking a nice break to have a chat with you lovely people.
I'm sorry.
So that's great. It gives me a moment to pause here, but I'll be back at the restaurant for the next 3 days solid. So,
and Justin, we are going to talk about Sweet Nola's next month. I understand. Sweet Nola's-ish.
It will be Sweet Nola's related, yes.
But we don't want to say too much because we don't want to jinx ourselves.
Right. If you've been around long enough to remember Sweet Nola's, then there's some cool news in the Sweet Nola's universe coming towards you soon.
Fantastic. And I, of course, will be back with a brand spanking new episode of The Valley tomorrow, just a few minutes after noon. So meet me here then.